They say that if you can improve your performance in bed, you can improve everything else in your life. This is the Oura Ring Gen 3, and I wish I knew about these things before I bought it.
In this video, we'll cover the hardware, the software, and my favorite alternatives. It's a bit thicker than your average ring, so when I do slide it on there, my palm doesn't like close all the way. And when my fingers swell, whether I'm on an airplane or I'm not drinking enough water, I've been told that it's kind of like squish this finger. Is that bad for you? But out of every single fitness and sleep tracker that I've used, this is the smallest and the easiest one to kind of put on. If you like wearing rings, super easy. If you're not a ring person like me, you might play with it and take it off and spin it. But if you just want to track your sleep, you can leave this by your bedside and just put it on and then take it off when you wake up. This is the Stealth model Gen 3, and this is the Gen 2 kind of glossy one. As you can tell, it does get a little bit scratched up, especially when you use it a lot and wear it a lot. There can be some residue on it. So don't expect it to look clean and pristine all the time. It's gonna have some character and design showcase itself being kind of used over time. See, there's some black scratches on the Stealth here. I do like the matte black look a little bit more than the glossy, that's for sure. The charger's really nice. The only issue is this charger only works for all the Oura Rings that are my size. There's like 6 different sizes, so if I want to use a friend's charger, like iPhone charger, I can't. But it slides on and it's got kind of like a matching thing. It's kindergarten proof, so it's pretty difficult to miss the charger. The charger here is powered by USB-C, and it's pretty small. If you travel with this, it's easy to pack in your bag and take it with you. Just bring the cable and the charging device. The biggest thing I've learned about fitness trackers is if you don't charge it, if you don't wear it, and you don't sync it with your phone, it's pretty much a pointless paperweight. The Whoop strap I really like because you never really take it off. You slide the charger on and then you slide the charger off. I've tried the Dream headband, which you put on your forehead. It measures your brain waves. Most people think I'm crazy, but I do use the Apple Watch to track my sleep.
My dog is a better sleep tracker than the Apple Watch, and you can quote me on that.
I just charge it when I wake up and I charge it right before I go to bed. It might be a little bigger and more uncomfortable to most people. I also sometimes wear the Bio strap to measure my sleep. I definitely don't recommend this one. It's kind of out of date and they stopped creating new products. But if you can get over the hump of just sliding this ring on and wearing it throughout the day during your sleep, it's great. If you want to walk with it, run with it, you can track your workouts as well. But when it comes to weightlifting or any kind of CrossFit or something where you need to grab something, this ring can get in the way. So I don't usually wear it when I'm doing anything that involves grabbing barbells or any kind of heavy objects. Even if you're doing pull-ups, actually, it's kind of like weird. When it comes to battery life, it lasts about 3 to 5 days depending on how you treat your battery and your charging life. You can even charge it every single day. I think they recommend keeping it between 20 and 80% battery life. But what's nice is you don't have to charge it every day, but then you also don't develop that daily habit of charging it, so you might forget to charge it. My entire family has Oura Rings and they probably wear it like 70% of the time and charge it 95% of the time. So that's just another friction point to using this device consistently. Now, the whole reason I bought an Oura Ring was to understand my sleep and the different lifestyle behaviors I have and how they impact my sleep, right? Can I feel more energized throughout the day? Can I be more productive? And can I be more present with my friends and family if I'm able to improve my sleep? And that's why I kind of like their algorithmic readiness score. It kind of gives me a overall status and feeling of how my sleep kind of went. I would always take this data with a grain of salt. Why? There's something called ortho insomnia, and that's when you start to obsess over these stats, and because you're trying to get the best sleep possible, you have the worst sleep possible. So if you're starting to get anxiety because of these wearables and these trackers, maybe it's time to stop. But if you can allow that data to help inspire slight changes in your lifestyle and behavior, it can be really powerful. For example, alcohol. Although alcohol can be fun and it's a very social atmosphere, what I've realized is even just one drink of alcohol can really impact my sleep. It increases my heart rate. Sometimes my body temperature will elevate a little bit, and it just doesn't look very good. And when there's an app yelling at you telling whatever you did last night was not good for your body, I'm more inclined to stop doing that behavior. Do I still have a drink from time to time? Yes. But I do understand that it's going to negatively impact my sleep. But I go in drinking alcohol knowing that it's going to negatively impact my sleep and being okay with it. If you lead your life with intentionality, that's all that matters. These are the Swanwick glasses, blue light blockers, prescription grade if you want them, link below. Now when it comes to software that has a little Oura Ring app, you can put it on your iPhone, your iPad, or any Android device. But I do have some gripes with the software. They introduced this new fee that's $6 a month so that you can, as well as your detailed insights about how you sleep, and they're really just putting your data behind a paywall. I upgraded my entire family to the Oura Ring Gen 3 so that we could lock ourselves into that lifetime subscription. But with how they've delayed these features and promises they've made, it's kind of disappointing. And they kind of forced everyone to upgrade who had the Gen 2 so that way you could have the lifetime membership And one of the downsides is as you use this device, the battery degrades over time. And I've realized after about 2 years, you have to charge the Oura Ring almost every single day. Depends on your use. So I upgraded to the Gen 3 thinking I'm gonna get active heart rate, SpO2, blood oxygen, and a plethora of other features like period prediction. But then they came out and said if you have an Android, no period prediction. We are not releasing SpO2 tracking until later this year, which could be December 2022. That's an entire year or more later than some people got their ring. And then active heart rate tracking, that recently just came out. But despite all of these challenges and issues, is the Oura Ring still worth buying? I think so. Recording an active heart rate workout, you do have to open the app and then select out of the options. They really only support running, cycling, and walking right now. I almost never use that feature because I have an Apple Watch and I just sync all my active workouts from there, and it pulls that into my Oura Ring. So I don't have to think about it, and it's just much easier to start and stop a workout from my wrist than pulling out my phone and doing it. The readiness and sleep scores kind of give you an overall sense of how did you sleep last night, which can be valuable. If you want to dive deeper and see trends, you can go into each tab. Readiness will give me my resting heart rate variability, respiratory rate, body temperature, and I can even see my resting heart rate throughout the night, as well as my heart rate variability. It'll give me a sleep score of how much I slept, how much time I spent in bed, my sleep efficiency, even all the different sleep stages that I was in, and importing all of my data from Apple Health. It gives me my workout and activity scores as well, daily movement, how much I worked out. And last night I really needed to recover, so I got an 86. I got that crown. Crown means good job. I'm a king. I got a ton of deep sleep to really recover physically. The biggest things that I've learned from using the Oura Ring is I don't eat late at night. I've learned that if I eat close to bedtime, you can kind of even see here, my heart rate will stay high relatively the first half of the night, and then it drops to where it should be. And the HRV is typically the inverse of that. I've noticed that when I drink alcohol, my resting heart rate will be much higher and my HRV will be much lower than usual. So for me, the biggest things I do look at is the heart rate and the heart rate variability. Also, those are the 2 data points that have been validated to be the most accurate on the Oura Ring. My Apple Watch has this feature, but if I haven't been moving much, the Oura Ring will notify me to get up and move around. I think that's really important because sitting still for one spot for way too long is actually really bad for you. Now, I have been wearing the Oura Ring Gen 2 and the Oura Ring Gen 3 for the past couple of months today, and I'll share with you kind of how different the data is as well. Now, when it comes to the Oura Ring Gen 3 versus the Oura Ring Gen 2, do they provide slightly different scores? And if you kind of hop through the days, they're slightly different, yes. So that's why I take all this data with a grain of salt. But for the most part, they trend in the same direction. And that's why I think it's important to look at the overall trends rather than look at this information and say, oh my God, I got a 91 versus an 86. Even if we go into there, right, the resting heart rate is about 1 beat off. The heart rate variability is about 2 off here. The body temperature is about 0.3 off. So there's a slight variation from device to device. Let's pick a random day. It's pretty close, but there's still a little bit of differentiation between these devices. Finally, a third sample. Yeah, it's pretty close, right? It's pretty freaking close, but the readiness scores are slightly different. One of the cool things about the trends is that I can actually go in there and see trends for certain variables. Look at that. Even the bedtime from the Oura Ring Gen 2 is about 40 minutes off from the bedtime on the Oura Ring Gen 3. But the overall heart rate variability trend, pretty close. They're about 30 minutes off. That's why the sleep stages is not a number that I look at or take the specific number for the weekly averages. For the monthly averages is about 20-30 minutes. But if you look at the overall trend, they're slightly similar, right? Same thing with total sleep. The numbers are slightly off, but the overall trend's slightly similar. We can see it's a little bit better at predicting total sleep, and the heart rate variability numbers are even closer. You can buy a used Oura Ring Gen 2 online. If you're willing to charge it every single day, I think that's the way to go. Save your money on the subscription, right? There are other competitors. There's alternatives that you can go to. What are these alternatives? Circular ring. This is a slightly cheaper, no subscription model ring that recently got announced. I did actually order one, so I will be getting that and I'll make a video. The Apple Watch, Whoop Strap. These are all products I've tested on my channel, and some people will hate me for this, but I honestly think the best sleep tracker is the Apple Watch. And then when it comes to wanting to improve your sleep, there are 2 apps that I really like and recommend. One is Crescent Health. If you want a sleep personal trainer, I recommend go checking them out. Let them know I sent you and ask for a special free gift. They will actually work with you remotely to find ways to improve your sleep and implement lifestyle habits and behaviors so that you can feel rested when you wake up and be productive and energized throughout the day. And the next one is Rise Science. They have an app that kind of gives you sleep debt. It's really just one data point, but I found that if I don't consistently get good sleep, the Rise app will yell at me and say, hey, you need to focus on your sleep more the next couple days, because in the last 14 days, it's been not so great. I will link all of these down below. Now, one feature the app doesn't have is a social and community feature. I wish they had something like a Sleep with Friends app where you can share your sleep scores and data and inspire each other to become better sleepers. If you think that's interesting, comment, I want to sleep with friends down below. Now, the Oura Ring isn't my favorite product, but what is the 8 Sleep Pod Pro. It actively cools me while I'm sleeping, it tracks my sleep, and it vibrates to wake me up gently in the morning. Go watch my review right here. Katie Type A, how's it going?
Oh gosh, am I live?
What was the only sleep tracker you kept using when you stopped using all your other sleep trackers?
The 8 Sleep.
Oh!